Okay, now let's proceed to our chapter 4, research methodology. I think this is one of the easiest part of the research since you're just going to fill in the blanks dito sa ating research. And then this chapter of course represents the methodology used in this study as well as the research setting, participant sampling, and the detailed data gathering procedures and design. So, as is na ito, research design of course, ito yung kung anong klase siyang design. So here, kung sa practical research 1, you use descriptive method only. Here, we are using descriptive correlational method. Maraming klaseng research design. It's not the background of your PowerPoints, putting a lot of decorations. That's not the design, okay? So this is descriptive discorrelational method, meaning to say, you have two variables are going to relate to each other. So, yun yung tatawag nating, is there a significant relationship? Using a inferential statistics to test the two variables if meron silang significant relationship or hindi. So, descriptive, meaning to say you're going to describe it. Okay, so how do you describe it? Using descriptive terms. So, like yung sa questionnaire ninyo, meron siyang descriptive terms na sasagutan ng mga respondents ninyo. So, this one is as is lang siya. So, ayan, as viewed by Kowalczyk, comprises collection of data relationship between two or more quantifiable variables. So, in this study, yun, whatever your study would be, your title, just insert your title here, kung anong title niyo. So, and was described, correlated to find out the significance or insignificance of the relationship. So, and the respondents of the study are the blank. So, sino nga ba yung respondents na inyong studies? Are they ABM students? Are they junior high school? Are they senior high school? Are there someone out the campus? So, you're just going to indicate here yung blanco kung ano yung, so sino yung inyong respondents. And then, the respondents, a total number of 30. So, this is our minimum and standard sa ating school, and then the senior high school. Beyond this is can be accepted, but at least minimum of 30. And all were students sa Basuto Institute. Depende, okay, kung anong students, kung students ba sa BI or somewhere else. Okay, during the school year 2024-2025. Again, this is your duration. Kailan nyo kinandak yung study. So, and then below here, of course, the next page would be the table 1 distribution of the respondents. So, the grade, alam niyo naman yung frequency, yung tali lang yan, ilan yung tali ninyo. Okay, so, pagkakahati. This is just an example. This is just the red. You can delete it afterwards kung ano yung talaga ano ninyo. So, kung sakaling kulang siya, you just go to the table layout. And then, above here, meron nakalagay niyan, insert row below. Insert row below nyo lang siya. Okay, yan. Pag highlight niyo siya, makikita nyo naman. Yan, meron na siyang another na row sa baba. Okay? So, yun lang naman yan. And if you're going to delete a row, just highlight it first, and then the one delete cells. And then shift cells left. Okay, enter nyo lang yan. So, ganun lang siya. Huwag kayong mag-enter. Okay? So, masisira yung alignment ng inyong table. So, make sure to insert below para tama yung table ninyo. Okay? If you want to see the alignment, you go to view. And then, above, may makikita kayong grid line. So, yun kasi, tumatulad nito, sobra siya sa ating grid lines. You have to adjust it. Yan, merong box doon. Adjust nyo lang. And then, yun na yung adjustment ng inyong table. Okay? So, para naka-align siya. Makita ninyo kung naka-align. And of course, kung may mga paragraphs kayo like this one, and so make sure to use the tab button, okay? Huwag nyo siyang manually space kasi mababago yung format niyan kung ililipat nyo sa ibang laptop. Okay, so just use the tab for the indent, okay? I'll just remove the grid lines, and then next we have the sampling techniques. The sampling techniques is the method sa pag-gather ninyo or ng qualification ninyo kung sino yung respondents na inyong pipiliin. So, the respondents were selected here as an example is purposive sampling method. Okay? So, just an example lang ito. There are different kinds of sampling method. Meron tayong cluster sampling, meaning to say, kina-cluster mo sila, ginugrupo mo sila, grade 11, grade 12, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9. So, that's cluster. Ginugrupo mo sila. Meron din tayong tinatawag na random sampling, kahit sino pwede ninyong piliin randomly na respondent. Bahala na kayo. Kasi meron na tayong mga fishbowl method as a part of random sampling. Meaning to say, you're just gonna pick a bowl and then put every names inside the bowl, and then you just pick one paper, and then they will be your, or he or she will be your respondents. So here you're going to put just the meaning. It is a method of what? So basically, you just find in the internet what's the meaning of purposive sampling, and then you paste it right here. Okay? So meron ako ditong notes, the red line. So just put the meaning. Okay? And then after which, just remove the notes here, the red words. Okay? So in purposive sampling, okay, for example, this is purposive sampling. The researcher chose, okay, let me type here, purposive sampling. The researcher selected honor students from ABM grade 11 and 12. So, kaya siya purposive, meaning to say, for the purpose of the study, meron akong specifically na pinili na respondent, which is yung grade 11 at grade 12 na honor students. So, hindi ako pipili ng mga non-honor students, hindi ako pipili ng mga honor student na mga junior high school, because I personally and purposively selected only the grade 11 and grade 12 students. So, yun lang yan, sampling methods natin. So, you can search different kinds of sampling method. The most common use is the purposive sampling. Pwede rin naman cluster purposive sampling, a combination of both. Gin-group mo na sila, and then at the same time, pinili mo specifically yung group of people. Pwede rin ng random sampling, pwede rin cluster random sampling. Gin-group mo na sila, and then randomly you pick among all among students, regardless of age, gender, sex, or even achievements or accolades. Okay, so that is the sampling techniques. Now, let's proceed to the research instrument. So, research instrument is basically the researcher-made questionnaire. So, ito yung mga questionnaire na i-administer ninyo sa kanila. Gagawin nyo ito. So, meaning to say, you are going to personally made this questionnaire. Okay? As the main instrument to the 4-point scale. Okay, ang 4-point scale natin sa survey na ito, kasi nga, meron tayong numerical scale sa baba, statistical limits and verbal interpretation. So, 4, 3, 2, 1 lang. And statistical limit natin, this will be explained furtherly. Babalikan ko ito pagdating natin sa graded, sa weighted mean. Okay? And then, verbal description, this can be changed depende sa inyong questionnaire. Pwede siyang excellent, very good, satisfactory, and needs improvement. Pwede siyang very challenging, satisfactory, and not challenging. Okay? So, depende sa inyong tanong kung yan by answerable by level. So, very high level. Okay? Pag ang hinahanap niyo yung challenges, extent ng challenge. Okay? Kapag hinahanap niyo yung performance, excellent, good, better, and needs improvement. So, depende sa inyong questionnaire. Nagbabago ito. Okay? So, let me just read this one. So, because ito ay nababago. Okay, so the instrument was composed of 2 parts. The first part has 5 items of questions to identify the blank. So, ano yung blank dito? Ito yung inyong tinatawag ninyong mga sub-variable. Okay? Sub-variable ninyo. Okay? So, this part has 5 items of questions to identify the sub-variable. Kung ano man yun, yung mga in terms of ninyo. Okay, yun yung sub-variable. Hence, the second part was 5 items pa rin. Ito lang kasi yan. Ang ibig sabihin yan, let me take a look sa inyo yan. Sa questionnaire ninyo, this one, ayan. So, meron kayong sa variable 1, 2, 3, and each item sa questionnaire ay meron kayong 5 item question. So, yan. Ito kung ang ano niyo ay ang inyong questionnaire is regarding sa gaano kadalas, okay, meron tayong always, often, sometimes, and never. Okay? And then, each variable, sa independent variable, meron kayong 3 variable. And then, dependent variable, meron kayong 3 variable. Each item, meron kayong 5 question each. Okay? So, 5 question each yun. So, let's go back to the chapter 4. Which chapter 4? Scaling and quantification. This is as is, except this one, the red line, words. This can be changeable to, always, often, sometimes, never, excellent, very good, satisfactory, needs improvement, depende. Okay, sa questionnaire ninyo. Alright, so the validation of the instrument was validated to the assistance of your blank. Okay, sino yung nag-validate ng questionnaire ninyo? Okay, so before kasi natin, after nyo gawin yung questionnaire ninyo, it will still undergo a process before nyo siyang officially administer sa mga respondents ninyo. So first, you're going to validate it. Okay, when we talk about validation, someone na nag-check niya, na expert, sa dito, the research instrument was validated to the assistance of the blank. Okay, I put another note here. Teacher who is an expert to your study. Kung ang inyong studies regarding psychological problems, you can consult Ma'am Tricia, yours truly, and other teachers who are expert in psychology. If mathematics, of course, the math teachers. If English, of course, the mga English teachers. If mga situations, of course, those people who understand different kinds of situations in life. Okay, if disaster, kay Sir Richie. If mga computers, kila Sir Russell, kay Sir TJ. If mga sports, regarding naman yan kila Sir Gadon. Okay, so depende yan, okay, sa teacher na pipiliin ninyo at sa study ninyo kung sino talaga yung personal mga expert dyan. Kasi bakit? All their correction, comments, suggestions were incorporated in the final editing of a copy of the questionnaire. So, pipiliin ninyo sinong teacher ang inyong target na mag-validate ng inyong questionnaire. Okay? Basically, mag-check. Okay? So, let's talk about, tingnan yung questionnaire natin, validation. For example, this one, ayan. Magkakaroon kayo ng ganito. Magagawa kayo ng mga questionnaire dito. And then, sa gilid, sasabihin ni validators ninyo, ng expert, okay, retain ba yan, remove, or revise? Kung remove yan, ano ipapalit na suggestion? Kung revise yan, may suggestion din siyang ilalagay yung inyong mga validators. Okay? So, and then, of course, also meron din tayong tinatawag na validation letter sa teacher. Ayan. So, pipiliin ninyo, isasend ko din itong validation letter na to. Susulatan nyo sila, pipirmahan nila ito, sign nila ito. Okay? At sign ko rin para ma-validate natin at talagang merong pruweba na binalidate yung inyong research. Okay? So, yan. Basically, as is lang ito. Fill in the blank lang naman ito. I have the blank already provided. You're just gonna put your title here. Okay? And then, of course, your researcher. Sino ba yung mga researcher ninyo? Just include the names, write the names. Kung may kulang man, just provide another one. Okay? And then, approved by. Depende kung sino yung inyong validators. Okay? So, now, let's proceed to the reliability of the instrument. The reliability of the instrument, after ninyo itong validate, gumawa na kayo ng questionnaire, validate nyo na yung questionnaire ninyo. The next one, I will have a separate discussion regarding here. Magkakaroon kayo ng reliability of the instrument. Okay? Gaano ba ka-reliable yan? Inyong questionnaire. Si respondent 1 ba, 2, 3, 4, 5 ninyo, pag sinagutan nila, consistent ba yung sagot? So, yun yung tinetest natin sa reliability, yung consistency. Okay? Ibig sabihin, understandable ba? Malinaw ba? Clear ba? Yung instructions, yung sentences, naunawaan ba? So, we have to test the consistency. Para dito pala makikita natin na meron siyang connection yung mga variables ninyo. Kasi consistent yung sagot ng inyong mga respondents from respondent 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, aside sa inyong 30 respondents, meron kayong 5 non-respondents. Okay? Meron kayong 5 non-respondents. Hindi siya kasama dun sa 30. Additional 5 to. Okay? So, yan. I-present nyo dito. Ang goal niyo is 0.7 and above. Okay? So, kailangan magkaroon siya ng result na 0.7 and above, excellent or acceptable, at may result siya na reliable. Okay, this is just an example. Pag hindi yan reliable, uulitin niyo yung questionnaire niyo, may something wrong dyan. Okay, so ganun lang siya. Okay, and then data gathering procedure, this is as is, wala naman kayong babaguhin dito, kung paano lang yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng inyong gathering procedure ng inyong study. Yun lang. Okay? So, consolidated, tabulated, analyzed, interpreted. And then, statistical limits ninyo, wala na akong, sa new format kasi wala na tayong nilagay ng mga formula na ginamit ninyo sa inyong statistics. So, you just indicate yung description ng weighted mean, percentage, ranking, and then the person R. Okay, yun yung mga gamitin natin. And then, coefficient of determination. Okay, I have a separate, discussion dyan. So, basically, wala na tayong ilalagay na formulas dito. At in-indicate na lang natin, dinescribe na lang natin, ito yung mga ginamit ko na mga statistics, okay? Ito yung tinatawag natin descriptive statistics, weighted mean, percentage, ranking, and then yung ating inferential statistics to the connection between two variables, Pearson's product moment of correlation, or Pearson R, basically, and then coefficient determination. And then the last one is the ethical consideration. So all participants were informed about the details of the study. Na hindi nyo siya, in-inform nyo sila, okay? This is one of the problems of some researchers previously, okay? So, hindi nila binigyan ng oras yung kanilang respondent na sagutan maayos yung kanilang mga questionnaire, kaya iba, binarabara na lang. Kapag nagkaroon ng bara-bara yan sa inyong questionnaire, magkakaproblema yan sa result. Dahil yung tinest natin yung consistency So, dapat consistent din yung sagot ng magiging respondents nyo na 30 para magkaroon siya ng relationship. So, paano yon? Siyempre, bigyan sila ng information. Dapat understandable lahat ng inyong mga details sa inyong questionnaire. At voluntary sila, hindi sila napipilitan. At para bigyan nila ng time and essential yung inyong research. Okay? So, could withdraw from the study without any consequence. The anonymity and confidentiality of the participants were guaranteed. So, kaya yung mga questionnaire ninyo, hindi natin nilalagyan niya ng pangalan kung sino nagsagot niyan kasi we keep them anonymous and for confidentiality. Okay? So, para hindi siya maging personal. Objective lang tayo. Okay? So, even though purposive sampling ka, pero hindi natin nire-reveal kung sino yung mga sumagot sa inyong questionnaire. Okay? Para makip natin yung anonymity and confidentiality ng mga participants. Kasi baka i-judge sila, bakit yun ang sagot mo, ganyan, di ba? So, para hindi sila mahiya at they can fully express themselves, so, sa questionnaire ninyo, walang nakalagay na name sa taas. Okay? So, may nakalagay naman siya optional, pero with regard sa final ninyo, ay wala lang nakalagay dyan ng name na yan. This is an optional. Okay? For your personal documentation, so you can put the name, pero then again, it is an optional. Alright? So, yun yung ating chapter 4. So, we will proceed to a separate video regarding naman sa paggawa ng questionnaire. Okay? So, ganoon lang kasimple yung chapter 4 research methodology. Please do this as soon as possible kasi after the preliminary, I'm going to require you to pass this one and then do your questionnaire as well. Para as early as February, matapos na natin yung research natin, makapag-administer na kayo ng mga questionnaire ninyo. So, research methodology, ito lang muna siya. And then let's wait for the next video for the questionnaire. Okay? Thank you.